The call came at 2:14 p.m. I was drafting a quarterly report when my phone buzzed. My neighbor, voice shaking. "Come now, your house is on fire. Your wife and kids, they're still inside." The words didn't register, not at first. Then everything inside me went hollow. I drove through 3 red lights. My lungs burned before the fire ever did. Flames were already swallowing the roof when I arrived, a living, breathing inferno. Firefighters dragged out 3 stretchers, my wife, my daughter, my son. Their faces were pale, ghost-like beneath oxygen masks. I remember the sound of the sirens, a mechanical scream that felt too human. Then the fire chief called me over. His tone wasn't sympathetic, it was procedural, cold. "You're in serious trouble," he said. I blinked at him, still half in shock. "Why?" He met my eyes like a man who didn't want to. "Because we found 2 other burned bodies in your home." His voice faded under the sound of collapsing wood. 2 other bodies? But we were a family of 4. The world stopped moving. That night the police questioned me like a criminal. Names, dates, affairs. They asked if I knew who the extra bodies could be. I didn't, not yet, but I knew the question would eat me alive until I did. They released me the next morning. The smell of smoke still clung to my clothes, my skin, my soul. I went back to the ruins. The house was a skeleton. Charred beams, melted glass, the shape of what used to be our life. And then I saw something. A half-burned photo frame near the remains of the master bedroom. It was the 4 of us at the lake. But behind my wife, barely visible, stood a shadow. A man I didn't recognize. The fire had burned everything except his face. I sent the picture to a contact I had from my consulting work, a digital forensics guy who owed me favors. He cleaned it up, enhanced it, and called me 3 hours later. "His name's Mark Lawson," he said. "Insurance agent, lives 2 towns over. My wife's agent, the one who handled our home and life insurance." Something cold settled in my chest. I didn't cry. I couldn't. I was already beyond that. Over the next week, I lived like a ghost in my own investigation. I traced calls, bank transfers. Her account showed a wire to Lawson's business, $25,000, 3 weeks before the fire. I went through our old texts. She'd been meeting friends, taking time for herself. There was a pattern in the excuses. Tuesdays, Thursdays. Lawson's office closed early on those days. I didn't tell anyone what I was finding. Not the police, not my lawyer, not even my children's doctor when he called about funeral arrangements. Every step I took toward the truth, I could feel her presence fading, like peeling away layers of someone who never existed. One night the investigator called again. "They ran DNA on the 5th body," he said. "5th?" I asked. "Yes, the smaller one, female." I waited. The silence stretched thin. "Your wife was pregnant," he said. 2 months. Pregnant, and the father wasn't me? I found Lawson's address in the police database. He'd been questioned, released, then disappeared. But I didn't need to find him. He found me. Showed up at the burned site in the middle of the night, bottle in hand, face half hidden under his hood. "I didn't mean for it to happen like that," he said. His voice shook. She just wanted out. You were—" He stopped. My silence pressed on him like a blade. "She said you wouldn't let her go," he muttered. "She wanted to start over." "With you?" I asked quietly. He nodded. "But it wasn't supposed to," he broke. Tears, guilt, all the things I had already killed inside myself. I handed him a folder. Police reports, lab results, DNA confirmations. The 5th body wasn't just his unborn child. It was his wife. She had found out, and followed them that night. Lawson collapsed where he stood. I watched him break apart, piece by piece, under the weight of the truth. He tried to speak, but his words drowned in the sound of his own regret. I didn't touch him, didn't curse, didn't raise my voice. I just stepped closer, looked him in the eye, and said, "You burned everything." But I only lost illusions. Then I turned away and left him there, in the ashes of both our lives. Weeks passed, investigations ended, files closed. The fire was labeled accidental. No one asked more questions. No one ever does when the story fits neatly on paper. I visit the site sometimes, not out of grief, that's long gone, out of habit, out of curiosity about what kind of man walks out of hell still breathing. There's nothing left but blackened earth and a silence that hums like truth. People call me a widower. They're wrong. I buried a liar, a stranger, and the version of myself who still believed in love. And sometimes, when the wind blows across the ashes, I swear I hear her voice, soft, distant, and meaningless. I don't turn toward it, not anymore.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.